Hello, welcome to the EagleSix test video. We're going to be testing this AK Storm, and this one's running we've put a 1600 7.4 vapextech LiPo in there, the brick kind. It's a tight squeeze, but it does go in. So this one's got the Action Army short type 30k motor in here, and we've put it combined with the Jefftron Leviathon MOSFET, and with the level 3 upgrade package, which is the power spring, the barrel and hop rubber and nub to give it a bit of extra lift. Then that's it. So no other upgrades internally, just those. We was getting about 334 with hop set on 0.2s and 250 on 3.2s. A little bit low, but that is on an M100 spring. So I'd recommend sort of any extra that you want to get out of it, rather than going higher with a 105 or a 110. Possibly look at things like spring guides or other internal upgrades to eke out that extra bit, because normally we say with a full level 10 package, we definitely don't need an M100 spring on an AK in order to get that FPS. So yeah, it came in a little bit lower than what I was hoping for, but still competitive, and it's over 330. So with hop off, it was crawling around about 354. So you know, hop set off, which obviously you wouldn't play with it set off, it is up there, if you know what I mean, in terms of FPS. Obviously with the Jefftron MOSFET, yeah, that was fun and games installing that, and that has the real feel trigger, which I'm not going to pull here because the battery's connected, but it sort of simulates like a sort of clicking action at the sort of the top of the trigger pull. That'd be the only way I could describe it. You know, Jefftron even asked, you know, is it better? I mean, we're a huge fan of immersion and recoil systems. Obviously, you know, some people call them gimmicks, you know, other people call them immersive, you know, and that's what that trigger is as well. You know, it just provides a little bit extra of a click. And you know, is it better than the other spring, the other trigger, in that it gives you some sort of a tactile feel to the trigger pull? Well, yeah, in that regard it is better. It does give you that, almost to the point where, you know, you sort of almost can't tell it's actually happening. So, but it is there, and it does give you that extra sensation. Whether it's worth the huge amounts of time it took for us to get the spring installed, and the potential for that spring to actually touch the board, which I've heard from, you know, customers messaging me back saying watch out for that spring touching the board and stuff. And you know, I imagine Jefftron have even had to field a few problems like that, you know. Yeah, whether it's going to be, only time's going to tell on that one. So obviously we can't really comment on the first install, because you know, everything always takes longer the first time. So yeah, we're gonna obviously install a few of these, and then we'll you know, obviously work with customers in regards to feedback and stuff, and then we'll see how it goes. Obviously the big benefit of the Jefftron over the Gate one, even though I feel like the Gate en masse was easier for me to install, obviously the Leviathan one has the dedicated section wire coming out for the switch detection for this here. So so that means that basically when you put mag out and mag in on the Gate one, it will disconnect the power of the gun, and it will reconnect it. So therefore the bolt stop works, right, which is great. So the Aster worked on the Gate Aster, but on this one, obviously when you magazine out, magazine in, you know, it's detecting the switch via a separate thing, so therefore the power stays connected at all times, right? So when it disconnects, so when the gun runs out, it'll basically double beep at you to tell you, you can feel it like a double vibration, would be the best way to describe it. There's no sound other than the fact that you can hear the vibration. And then obviously it's new mag in, obviously pull this back, and then that will reactivate the gun, and it's all done by a separate switch. So yeah, in that regard, it's not possible on the Gate one. It's possible to do the reload and pull the trigger so fast that you catch it in the power up mode, that there's a brief pause, and then you can continue firing. Obviously this one doesn't have that same issue, so because it's bypassing that. So technically it is more bespoke, it's more thought about. There is a lot more settings and stuff on the Leviathan, I must admit. There's with that option, that cable coming off there, it's not just specific for this gun. You can sort of imagine all kinds of scenarios where you could possibly you know, work with that auxiliary connector to do all kinds of things, you know. So yes, it is a I think for the custom install, yeah, it's a very powerful product, and it's really nice to obviously see manufacturers doing stuff like that, you know, to then empower obviously airsoft techs to then do more. Whereas obviously the Gate product is much more of a sort of a mainstream product, which is like I say, it carries its own benefits in that it's, you know, well boxed and lovely to install as a very nice product. Arguably, like I say, a little bit easier because I've installed a few now, but yeah, I can definitely see the power of the Leviathan, and like I say, both ultimately make the gun fire and give an increased trigger response, and all the benefits that you get from having an ETU installed. So yeah, so obviously we're just going to test now and just demonstrate it working. I could put some PBs in even. I didn't forget that just then. That was a clear demonstration, deliberate, to show you the mag detection, honest. So rat fire's lovely. It's out. So yeah, so just remember that obviously as it's out, double beep, not a problem with the gun. It's meant to do that. So I don't know if you can sort of hear it, and that's actually just the vibration that's coming from the actual motor itself. Yeah, so and then obviously it's magazine out. Magazine in, bolt catch.